I heard you singing the extra jingle. Go ahead, girl.
Yes, extra, extra. It's a vibe.
How are you guys?
Doing great. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Okay, let's talk about the good half. Nick, I'll start with you because, you're front and center in this role. What was that like? I heard you and Robert have been friends from before. So what was it like working together in this capacity?
Yeah, Robert and I first met back in '07. We had a producer in common, basically the guy that produced his band's album, the guy that produced Brothers' album, introduced us, and we became fast friends, and we toured together back then, and it was a great start to the relationship. And then years later, he starts making films and sent me the script for this film, and I just absolutely loved what I read on the page. And to get the chance to work with a friend is always a nice thing. These shoots can be really challenging when you're making movies in 30-something days, and you gotta move quickly and be efficient and get it all done. But to have a friend by your side, especially tackling kind of subject matter this heavy at times, was really nice. And then we've actually known each other for a while too, so it was a reunion of sorts.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Alexander, how'd you come on board?
I got sent this script. It's so actory essentially, but it's also like the professional thing. Your friend's working on a movie, they send it to your reps, they send it to you, you read it, and instantaneously, I not only love the people who are involved, but it's such a beautiful story. And as someone who has a mom who's a 2-time breast cancer survivor, I really related to this story and seeing the family dynamic and how they're affected by that, and the loss that they go through and how they come together. For me, it was just a story that I felt like I needed to be a part of, And also I love coming in and having my light moments, and in my family, when we're crying, we're also laughing. And I love that this movie had that, because I think that in a lot of ways, grief can be so exhausting that it's almost hilarious. And all you can do is laugh at it, And this movie really does it in a beautiful way.
It's a really good way to put it, because Nick, I wanted to ask you about that too, where there's moments of comedic relief that you get. So even though it's such a heavy topic, you can also really just, lean into the relationship that he has with his mom, and also the relationship he has with Rick, for example. What was that for you, balancing, the serious topic, but also humor?
Well, I think it's always that thing of sometimes in life the things that are hardest to walk through, are the things that make you laugh for some reason. It's hard to explain it, but it's it's often what happens. And I think the family dynamics, I certainly relate to family dynamics as a whole, spending as much time as I do with mine, and I love getting to collaborate with people that understand that and have their own experience with it, and everybody brings something different to the table. And you always have what you have in the script, of course, but it isn't until you get everyone in the room and start playing with these scenes and finding the humor, and a lot of what came in our scenes was I think just us kind of messing around, and when you see the edit, you're like, oh, that wasn't really even the script, but it makes the scene feel, sort of brings it to life in a new way. And I think having a director that allows you to play like that is a relief.
Alexandra, can you talk to me about the chemistry that your characters have, you and Nick, and also just what it was like, the on-screen and off-screen relationship?
Yeah, well, I think off-screen, Nick is very quick and is naturally funny, and so I think it was really fun to find the banter within these characters who are different than us, but also what we bring to it. And so it's like we have our own way of our little chit chats in real life, but kind of seeing how we were able to meld our characters and how we developed them and how they related and had their own kind of banter was really important and really fun.
Talk to me about that plane scene, because that's the first interaction that we get, and it sets the stage for the rest of the movie.
Well, I mean, we actually shot that in Los Angeles, which was kind of really fun, and I think it was important for us to kind of have that poke and that pull and that back and forth, and I don't know, it was fun to just be silly and have some dude passed out in between us.
And Nick, David said that maybe some of it was an acting. He was like, maybe I was just naturally annoying him. Would you say that was the case, or
Not at
is
all.
he just joking around?
I think he's incredible, and he's the most, inventive actor I've ever been around. Like he just comes up with really interesting stuff. There's no other way to put it. That I found myself just really leaning in and just being like fascinated by the guy. And naturally, I'm supposed to have a pretty tense relationship with Rick, but Dave's amazing, and getting to work with him was incredible to just see, somebody kind of so just aware of how to make a scene feel special, like and just adding so much to every scene that he was a part of. And then we had this big screaming match, and we came at it really hot the first take, but there was no subtext, that's for sure. It was just acting.
Just go for it.
Yeah, I think that screaming match between the two of them is my favorite scene in the movie. I know how crazy that might sound, but I was on set and I was kind of like in the background because I imposed and was like, can I come? But when we were on set and watching you do that scene with him, I was just like, me as a human being was so impacted by it, and I was every time Robert called cut, I was like, oh, we can't clap right now. You know what I mean? Because you just felt it, and it related onto the scene. But I will say, like, in person, it was so powerful, and then to watch it was really beautiful. And I was just like, that's my boy. He's killing it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Support system. Before I let you guys go, Nick, you're heading to Broadway. What can you tell us for the last 5 years?
Very excited about this project. I've loved the show forever, and my roots are in musical theater. So to come back to the Broadway stage with this show for the first time ever that it's been on the Broadway stage is a dream, and the entire creative team is top tier, and obviously my co-star Adrian Warren, the Tony Award-winning Adrian Warren, is going to be wild. But as we get closer, I'm just getting more and more nervous, to be honest. It's a big sing, and an obviously beloved show. So going to do my best to make the fans of this show proud, and hopefully people come out and see us in the spring next year.
Nah, you're gonna kill it.
Thanks.
This is gonna be
try.
cool.